Hey there, it's Dr. Justin Marcagiani. Welcome back to the podcast. Evan Brand, how we doing today, my friend?
Hey man, happy Monday. We're playing with some new technology to try to make ourselves look pretty. So let's see how it works.
Yeah, you got a new camera on here. I still have my same, more updated HD webcam. We may update that in the future to a 4K one. We'll see how it goes. But today we wanted to chat about how to enhance your metabolism, what nutrients we can use to enhance your metabolism. So why don't we dig in? So off the bat, we have various energizing nutrients. We have the low-hanging fruit, which are B vitamins. Okay, B1, which is going to be thiamine, B2, which is going to be riboflavin, B3, which is niacin or niacinamide. We have B5, which is pantothenic acid, primarily used by the adrenals or significantly used by the adrenals. B6, which is P5P or pyridoxal 5-phosphate. B6 is really important for activating and converting a lot of our brain chemicals, amino acids in our brain, like serotonin, your 5-HTP to serotonin, tyrosine to dopamine and adrenaline, etc. We also have B9, aka folate or folic acid. We want to use activated form, so either calcium folinate or L-MTHF, which is activated folate. We also have B12, methylated, which are going to be better, hydroxyl adenosine as well. We want to avoid the cyano forms, and that kind of rounds up a lot of the B vitamins. So first off, the low-hanging fruit for enhancing your mitochondria, enhancing your body's ability to burn fat, let's just say is the B vitamins. Now, from a food standpoint, really high in high-quality meats and vegetables, right? So that's kind of the low-hanging fruits. We really want to make sure digestion is good for digesting meats and such, and we're eating a really good kind of a paleo template, lots of vegetables, lots of healthy meats, and we have good digestion. That's going to help us off the bat to really maximize our B vitamin digestion, absorption, and assimilation.
I was looking at my oat test the other day and I thought, dang it, I was actually really, really low on B6, even though I guess I had been supplementing for maybe a few months after my oat test, but I can't remember when I started it. So I was trying to do the timeline. Like, am I just burning through my Bs quickly due to working too much, or what is it? So we find that B vitamins are low all the time. We do know that stress burns them up. You and I talk about this all the time with like amino acid metabolism. We talk about burning through neurotransmitters quickly. So B vitamins, same thing. And then vitamin C, I would put that in the same category too. We actually test vitamin C on the organic acids panel. I would say like 9 out of every 10 people we test are low in vitamin C. I actually drank some this morning. I just do a mixed ascorbate powder with the citrus bioflavonoids, and 2,500 milligrams, all you need in 2 months, and you can rebuild your levels.
Wow, that's really
What are
good.
you popping? People want to know, what is he swallowing?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I should have just turned off my mic so it wasn't grabbing it. But it's B vitamins, carnitine, creatine, ribose, all of the mitochondrial nutrients that we need to help maximizing burning fat for fuel. So
Let's talk
we'll
about
start today.
creatine. You brought up creatine. Now, people out there may say, "Oh, well, creatine isn't that for your muscles? Isn't that what I should be using to increase muscle mass at the gym?" And
Yeah, it
you're talking
increases
about
growth
using it for
hormone too.
energy.
It increases growth hormone too. It's instantaneous muscle fuel. But yeah, it's really important for the mitochondria, of course, and it's fuel that can be used by the muscle right away. And again, what I like about the creatine is the fact that there is some in meat, but the problem is not a lot, like 5 or 10 grams that I may get supplementally, maybe a couple hundred milligrams in a mitochondrial support. But if I use creatine before the gym, if I do like a crealkaline or a creatine monohydrate, I'm going to do 5 or 10 grams, and you don't have to eat 20 or 30 pounds of meat to get that kind of creatine. So it's nice to be able to supplement that, just because the food wise, you're not going to get the same level of concentration. So there's some really good benefits of there on the supplement side, especially just for the lack of having to eat that much meat. It's impossible.
Right. Yeah. Carnitine. Let's talk about carnitine. So there's a ketone and fatty acid section on the organic acid test. So we can kind of look at this and we can see whether someone's been fasting or whether they've been on like a ketogenic diet. And we can also tell too when there's metabolism issues or metabolism defects, you could call them, on the oat test. Now, what the prescription generally is for this, when we see that these markers go high, the prescription could be acetyl L-carnitine, and very helpful for brain fog too. We have a lot of people that say, "Oh, I just don't have the mental energy or the physical energy." So they're mentally tired, so they don't have the motivation to get things done. That could be tied into amino acids, but for this conversation, it could be tied into carnitine deficiency. And that also, like you mentioned, is important for energizing and helping mitochondria. So if you're carnitine deficient, you literally are not making enough energy at the cellular level. And you can replace carnitine supplementally But as you mentioned, you do want the good meats in the diet. This is why we see so many vegetarians and vegans. They show low on things like this on the test.
Exactly. And if you look at carnitine, you know, what its job is, you go into any biochemistry textbook, you'll find something known as the carnitine shuttle. And the carnitine shuttle, it essentially shuttles free fatty acids into the mitochondria. Let me see if I can find my
I bet you could
biochemistry
find a
text.
picture of
Hold
it.
on one sec. Let me see if, do I have it close by? Yeah, I do. Right here we go. All right. Give me a
So free
second. We're
fatty
doing
acid.
this.
So
We're doing
so
this
that
live here on the fly.
so this has to come from the diet. You've got to have some free fatty acids coming. So
Yeah, so you need that. So number one, the carnitine shuttle is really important because it's going to take free fatty acids and it's going to dump it into the mitochondria, right? And then the body's going to be able to burn that up for fuel. But the other really, really important part, so carnitine shuttle is 188, 189. So we're doing this on the fly here, guys. We're keeping it real for you all, okay? I try to be the mayor of Realville here. Okay.
all
So
right, let's see it.
189. So off the bat, you have carnitine right here. This is the mitochondrial matrix.
Go a little
So this
higher. We
puts out,
can't see it yet.
oh, sorry.
There we go.
So you can see right here, your body is using carnitine right here. So this is the inner mitochondria membrane. This is the outer mitochondrial membrane. So essentially, you can see carnitine is literally bringing all these good fatty acids inside the mitochondria. So you need carnitine to bring it inside the mitochondria. Now, a couple of things I want to highlight here is to make carnitine, you actually need right here. Check this out.
Go a little higher
Right
if you want
here.
us to see. Oh, right there. Okay. Yeah, we can't
So
read it. It's too
sources of
small.
carnitine. Carnitine can be attained from the diet where it's found primarily in meat products. Carnitine can also be synthesized from amino acids, lysine and methionine by an enzymatic pathway found in the liver. Therefore, these tissues are totally dependent on carnitine provided by the liver. And then there's one more part in here that it talks about vegetarian diets are primarily deficient in methionine and lysine. So what
Right.
does that mean? If you're a vegetarian, it's a chance that those nutrients are going to be low. You're not going to be able to make, because you either take carnitine in from animal products, meat, right? Or you make it from methionine and lysine. And if vegetarian diets are primarily deficient in methionine and lysine, then you're going to have a problem generating ATP, right? Adenosine triphosphate. That's the currency, the energy currency in our body. We're going to have a problem being able to generate that being on a vegetarian diet.
And what does that mean? In short, you're going to be tired. And this is why you go to your doctor and they may try to diagnose you with chronic fatigue, or they may try to diagnose you with ADD or ADHD. So they can give you a methamphetamine derivative such as Adderall or Vyvanse to try to crank up your energy. You may be dependent on coffee to get yourself up and going in the morning. It's not a coffee deficiency, as some may want us to think. Or, you know, my wife, she loves her coffee, but I'll tell her it's not a coffee deficiency. You know, it could be carnitine. What else you got for us?
So it's right here. Check this out. So this section right here, it's called E. It's called carnitine deficiencies. Such deficiencies result in decreased ability to use long chain fatty acids as metabolic fuel, right? So saturated fatty acids, like the medium chain ones are coconut oil, those kind of things. The longer ones are going to be like our saturated ones are animal fats. But right here, it says secondary carnitine deficiencies may occur for many reasons, including patients with liver disease. Number two is individuals suffering from malnutrition or those on strict vegetarian diets.
Boom.
Then it
There's
also
the
talks about severe infections, burns, trauma, pregnancy as other mechanism or means and why you would be low in the carnitine. Isn't that interesting?
That's crazy. Well, that first paragraph you read, it said something about how you could source it from lysine and methionine as well, but it requires an enzymatic process in the liver. And I thought, well, what about all these people that have toxic livers? They're probably not
Yes.
converting it the way they should.
Mhm.
So someone could say, oh, I'm tired, and they
Mhm.
could have meat in the diet, but it could be a liver problem as well.
Exactly. Exactly. So I wanted to just highlight there because a lot of people think vegetarian diets, you know, are healthy, but you're missing key important nutrients. We're not even talking about B12. We're talking about, you know, important sulfur base or important amino acids, methionine and lysine. And we're talking about even B12 and other essential fatty acids. We're not even getting to vitamin A. Now, people may say, well, you're getting beta carotene. Yeah, but you may not be converting beta carotene to vitamin A. One mechanism is if you see like people that have a little bit orangey kind of palms, that can kind of tell you that you're not converting it. Lower thyroid people have a harder time converting beta carotene to vitamin A as well. So these are just things you want to keep in mind. And some of the organic acids we'll look at are ethyl malonate and suberate and adipate. These are the big ones that we'll look at. And if we see them go really high, it tends to mean that we're not, we don't have enough carnitine on board to really make this carnitine shuttle mechanism happen optimally.
Yeah. So even if, so you're saying if that's happening, even if the diet does have meat, so let's say somebody's following a paleo template, you're saying if we see high on these markers here, we know that carnitine shuttle is not happening. They're still going to be tired, regardless of whether they're paleo or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to mean that these people are not generating energy from their fat optimally. And that's important. We want to make sure we have good fatty acid energy that's happening. And also, we want to be able to burn fat for fuel. So if we see people that have carnitine issues and we see weight loss challenges, well, then we definitely want to supplement carnitine, I would say between 2 to 5 grams daily. We want to be doing that to really enhance fat kind of breakdown. So if we have fat loss resistance or fat loss struggles and we see issue with carnitine, we really want to make sure we're getting good carnitine in the food, right? Animal products, methionine, lysine, those kind of things. And then we want to make sure that we supplement that on if we have other stressors on top of it to really make sure those pathways are working well, especially if we see the ethyl malonate, the suberate, the adipate in the organic acids being a little bit more impaired.
Well, let me ask you this. I know you're a big fan of free-form amino acids. So would this be another good time to throw those in? Because you mentioned like lysine, methionine in this process. Could that help if you wanted to throw it in along with carnitine?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you look on I think markers 7 through 14, there's some areas that will correlate or look at the amino acids. And so that's good to look at. So if we see lower amino acids, we want to give a good free fatty acid formula. And again, amino acids could be low for 2 reasons: from an absorption reason, from or 3, from an absorption issue, you're not absorbing it; 2, you're not eating it, right?
Yeah.
And 3, we may even want to just supplement it on top of it as well. And the stress part. So the stress part's the third one, where you're just burning it up because of stress. You're just more catabolic.
And that could
So
be
you're
gut
not yeah, you're not eating it, you're not absorbing it. Gut stress is more the absorption.
Yeah.
And then just the overall stress part, you're more catabolic and breaking it down. And so we would add in additional amino acids if we saw some of those pathways low. And the reason why it's nice is a lot of energy, 50% of the energy that you get from the aminos actually goes into the breakdown. So it's kind of like, it's like using a credit card and having a 50% transaction fee, right?
Ooh.
You buy something for $100, well, you get charged 150 because of that $50 transaction fee on top of it. The nice thing about the aminos is you get easy absorption because it's all in a free form. So it's already broken down for you. That's the benefit.
How often do you use those, and what's like the typical case when you're using free-form aminos?
I don't particularly use free-form aminos myself because I don't have those markers coming back on my organic acids. But the big aminos that I will use are collagen peptides. Collagen peptides are amino acids primarily from connective tissue, so much higher in glycine. Like a free-form amino acid product, like in my line, it's Amino Acid Supreme. It's kind of more balanced across the board, where obviously connective tissue is higher in glycine, it's lower in methionine, lower in tryptophan, lower in tyrosine, but it's higher in the other aminos: hydroxyproline, proline, and glycine. And so I use those primarily. But with patients, if I see those pathways coming back or I see vegetarian issues, we'll go with the amino acids. We'll also go with collagen, and then we'll add in some of these carnitine or like a mitosynergy or mitochondrial support that has a lot of those nutrients in it as well. That's kind of how we
Oh, okay.
do that.
So you could do both. You're saying you could put, somebody who was like an ex-vegan or vegetarian, you may put them on amino acid free form as well as collagen, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So you mentioned the B's, you mentioned the C's, we talked about aminos, we talked about the carnitine shuttle, mitochondrial toxins. I mean, why did this happen in the first place? Well, usually there's some type of underlying toxicity that's affected the mitochondria. So that could be antibiotics, that could be various toxins that we test for, like gasoline additives, xylene from women wearing perfume. That's a big, big toxin we see. Cosmetics, hair dye. We see a chemical called acrylamide that we can test for. That affects mitochondria. So toxins in general, infections like Justin mentioned in the gut. So getting your gut checked out for parasites, bacteria, H. pylori, worms, etc. Candida overgrowth could all steal nutrients as well. I had one other toxin in mind. It was the xylene, the acrylamide we see. Oh, pesticides. I mean, duh, that's easy. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're not, if
pesticides, antibiotics, right? I would say
water
gasoline
chemicals.
byproducts. Yep. I think those antibiotics are a big one too. So be careful on that. If we need to use antibiotic, we want to make sure it's specific and try to maximize the natural herbal compounds first. So B vitamins, carnitine, creatine, CoQ10 is another big one. CoQ10 is really important. It helps gather all those hydrogens that are spit out after it goes through the electron transport chain and through, goes through the Krebs cycle, electron transport chain, helps gather all those extra hydrogens, right? We have all this reduction reactions that occur during the Krebs cycle, which is basically an increase in these electrons and then the CoQ10 helps gather a lot of them up, and it just spits out more ATP after it goes to the electron transport chain. So it's really important for generating more fuel, more energy.
My mitochondria showed some dysfunction. I got my GPL tox chemical test done, and I did have some dysfunction. I wasn't bad, but I was a couple points off. I was like in the green, headed towards the yellow. So I'm doing some of the mitochondrial support nutrients right now, and also you and I were looking at my blood work. My homocysteine was up a bit too, and that was due to my folate, B12, B6 deficiencies. The B12 actually looked okay on the oat test, but the B6 was a bit low. Folate metabolism looked okay. So maybe it was just B6 causing homocysteine to go up. I don't know, unless it was something else.
Some of this could be genetic, some could be stress based. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing is your diet's great. You check that off. Hey, you do your best to manage the stress. You work with the general public and helping them get healthy. So that always can be stressful. And then we just supplement. We make sure we have high quality methylated B vitamins that are going to help with that. So we just kind of hit it from all ends.
Yeah.
Do you want to hit a couple questions that are related to this topic?
Yeah,
I didn't
pull the chat up. So do you mind reading them?
Yeah, so I'm going to if you guys can kind of keep the questions to these specific topics, that's going to help. If not, we're just going to go through and cherry pick them. Any supplements or strategies that's not going to be pertinent. Sorry. Let me keep on rolling here. How about pea protein for a vegetarian diet? Yes, pea protein is really good. You could do pea protein. You can also add in free form amino acids as well. Those are some great options. I think it's very good. Allison writes, and I react to all animal proteins, autoimmune disease, etc. Liver is toxic too from iron overload. Well, it's interesting. If you're a female, you should be menstruating, unless you're menopausal, then it's totally different. But if you're a cycling female, you should be menstruating. So having iron overload is pretty hard to do. Now, if you're amenorrhea, because your hormones are off, fine. Your iron may also be artificially high because of inflammation. Inflammation can increase, basically iron can act like a reactive oxygen species, ROS. So it's like gasoline in the fire. So it can artificially look like it goes higher, but it's more just a result of inflammation. So it could be that too. But yeah, you'd want to do kind of a GAPS, SCD, autoimmune template, maybe even an elemental diet to kind of get the inflammation under control, for sure.
Well, let me add a couple comments to that. You and I have discussed this before with meat. Meat gets the blame, right? Like people will blame the eggs or they'll blame the animal protein, but I would go as far as to say there's probably an infection component here, which is why you can't tolerate the meat. So if it's all meat, I mean, if it was red meat, I'd say, well, we have some clients that have had a tick bite and they become allergic to the red meat. But if you're saying it's all meat, to me, I bet there's something going on, potentially H. pylori.
With the gut, 100%.
Yeah,
you got to go through the 6 Rs. Got to go through the 6 Rs. Yeah, got to remove the bad foods, replace the enzymes, repair the gut lining, the hormones, remove the infection, repopulate, reinoculate, probiotics, retest. But in the meantime, pre-digest all that food, get on a really hypoallergenic, easy to process diet, and then pre-digest all that food with good cooking methods to help.
Yep.
Excellent. Let's see here. Any other questions? Dr. Jack Cruz says only about 1/3 of energy comes from food. Well, I mean, we're going to be tapping in, if we're more ketogenic or we're lower carbohydrate, we will be tapping in more to our body fat. So there is that, right? Just tapping into our body fat. You got about 1 day's worth of energy stored in carbohydrate, about 30 days worth of energy stored in fat. So it makes sense to really tap into that. And then so I guess it depends, right? Because you're going to be burning some on your body, some from the food, and some of the other food will be building blocks for your muscle, for your mitochondria, like actually regenerating your body. So, I mean, I guess it depends. like I kind of think of like regeneration is like, okay, it's going into the savings account. I think of like burning, it's going into the checking account that's being spent right away. So we kind of have like our savings account, our checking account for right away, our savings account for regeneration, and then like we basically have our long-term savings, which is we're tapping into like our fats for fuel, etc. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are they trying to say like the other part of it's like sunlight? I know you and I have both done multiple podcasts. Jack Cruz is a mutual friend of ours, so we've chatted with him plenty of times. Sunlight is huge. We're not saying that you can ignore that. You still need exposure to sunlight. That's just
Yeah.
assumed, though.
The problem with Jack Cruz is this, right? From what I understand, Jack does not work with patients on the functional medicine side directly. Okay. And I can tell you, I wish it was as simple as no EMF, get your vitamin D, eat lots of seafood, avoid inflammatory foods, and everyone was healed. That would make my job 1,000 times easier, right? So, of course, part of a good, healthy lifestyle is mitigation of EMF. It's going to be get sunlight. It's going to be grounding. It's going to be doing all those things. I can tell you personally, that very rarely is enough. I wish it was. It'd make my life 1,000 times easier. I don't, I wouldn't invalidate Dr. Jack for saying any of those things. I think they're really helpful and they're good foundational principles to add in to your repertoire, but they are not the holy grail. That is not it. You got to do more than that. Doing that's not going to fix an infection. It's not going to fix, poor digestion, nutrient deficiencies, toxic overload. You need extra support above and beyond that. I think it's important, but not the whole story.
Yeah, like gasoline additives, for example. You could sit out naked in the sun for 12 hours. You're not going to detox these things that are deeply stored inside of us, no matter what you do, unless you really start to use some nutrients to focus on that, or you're doing something maybe like a near infrared sauna or something else to help penetrate. You just can't get the penetration level that you need from just sunlight alone to help with toxins. And then the infection piece, like you said, I had H. pylori, I had Giardia. I needed herbs to clear those things out.
Exactly. Yep. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Again, I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want to make my tool bag, right? The tools that I utilize to help patients get bigger and better so I can help more people. Like I don't have an affinity to use a screwdriver over, a wrench, a monkey wrench, so to speak. I don't care, right? Think of like the monkey wrench being like this supplement or that test or this diet. I don't care. I'm result driven. A lot of people, they want to market themselves. So they need what they say to be unique because they're not necessarily results driven. They're more marketing driven. So you just got to keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah. So I'll just add one last comment. We'll move on. So if you go to a Lyme expert, for example, they're going to blame everything on Lyme. If you go to a Hashimoto's expert, they're saying everything is your thyroid. You go to an adrenal expert, everything is adrenals, adrenal fatigue, adrenal dysfunction. So we try to be specialist and generalist at the same time, meaning you've got to address all body systems. So it's not that these people are wrong and it's not that these people are right. It's that everybody has a piece to the puzzle. Now, if your business model is selling books on genetics, you need to talk about genetics a lot. If your book is on adrenals, you've got to talk about adrenals a lot. But you've got to have all of it. So why limit yourself? Because like you say, if at the end of the day, all that matters is, did the person get better? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then you've got to open up the tool bag to more tools.
That's it, 100%. Another question came in here. CoQ10, Ubiquinol, Ubiquinone. Ubiquinol, from what I understand, is the reduced form. So it has an extra electron. Ubiquinone obviously doesn't have that extra electron. Ubiquinone is where a lot of the research is. Ubiquinol, it's like one less enzymatic kind of conversion. So there's supposedly a better reaction, a better conversion or absorption if you're older. Not as much studies on the ubiquinol. Therefore, I still use the ubiquinone, but I think ubiquinol is promising, and potentially if you're older, that may make sense. But if not, 300 to 500 milligrams of ubiquinone is going to be helpful. Lots of good research on that. Just make sure it's good quality.
Especially if you're taking statins, because we know statins deplete CoQ10 and statins are passed out like candy. So if you're on one, got to make sure that's in the protocol.
Yeah, you have this this mevalonic acid pathway, right? So you have essentially this HMG-CoA reductase enzyme, right? And this gets blocked out by statins. So you have like cholesterol, and essentially this enzyme is what. Let me think.
I've seen the picture. I know exactly what you're talking about.
One more step down. It's actually you have this HMG-CoA reductase enzyme, and then cholesterol gets made, and then you have all these different important antioxidants like CoQ10 and all these sterol compounds that come off of it. So you have this HMG here, cholesterol here. So it blocks this conversion. So you don't get the CoQ10. You don't get these other important antioxidants that come off of it. That's the problem. Now, insulin is one that actually upregulates that enzyme. So it causes more cholesterol. So a lot of people can actually get their cholesterol modulated by just getting inflammation under control and getting insulin under control by getting their carbs dialed in. But first thing I would say is you need CoQ10. So if you are using a statin, you really have to, really get that addressed on the CoQ10 side. And I would look at getting the inflammation and the insulin under control first. You may not even need a statin.
Yep. Well said.
Okay, excellent. All right, anything else you want to mention here, Evan, before we go?
I think that's it. We'll just mention the websites where people can reach out if they need help. You could check out Justin Health. That's justinhealth.com. You could reach out for consults. Justin works with people around the world, Skype, phone, FaceTime, whatever we got to do to get in touch with you. That's what he does. Same thing for me. My website's evanbrand.com. We've got combined total of 500 and something pieces of content just among the podcast alone. So if you all have a specific topic that you want to see if we've covered, just search Justin Health in the topic or Evan Brand in the topic. I bet we've covered it. And Jack Cruz, we've interviewed him. Justin has. I think I've had Cruz on my show maybe like 3 times. The last time we were talking all about 5G and EMF and all that and why he feels so good in Mexico. Pretty interesting. So check it out if you want to.
Excellent. All right, Evan, great chatting with you. Again, give us a subscribe, give us a like, hit the bell so you get the notifications here later. And I appreciate you guys sharing is caring. Need any help, we're here for y'all. You guys take care. Evan, have a good day.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.